Okay, well, I mean, yeah, that's cool. So this is the first video that I'm actually having somebody else do the recording.
Really?
That's
wow.
exciting for me.
You need a Shawn.
I do not so need a Shawn.
Everybody needs a Shawn. Shout out to Shawn.
You know, I may ask Shawn these questions too.
He 3D prints, you know.
Ooh. Okay, so I finally get to meet Joel Telling, the 3D printing nerd. And here's my 3 questions.
Okay,
Number
3
one,
questions.
What was the first print that you saw that you were like, oh yes, this is it, man?
The first print that I saw was on Barnacle channel, and it was the NASA wrench, the one that they sent up to the space station.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, the one that Daniel Noré designed.
And I dissected that in one of my videos because it's so clever.
No, NASA designed that, and then Daniel did the one that was like
that could reverse.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So cool. Okay, question number 2.
Okay.
You've just been funded by a millionaire. Bill Gates has decided he likes what you do, and you've got unlimited funding, but you have to show progress.
Okay.
What are you working on?
I'm working on the advancement of newer materials to 3D print with. I think that there's plenty of great stuff going on in the hardware, but I think we haven't yet found the limit to the materials we can print with.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we've infused plastics with things, but I think more copolymers, I think more exotic materials, I think more maybe even non-plastics.
And that are as easy as PLA to print with. I mean, that's the thing. When you get into those exotics, they all curl and peel, and they're harder to print with.
They all suck, just like the rest of them, right? Yeah, they all suck equally.
There's no good filaments out there. Okay, question number 3.
Number 3.
You got a USB cable on you?
I'm sure I do somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Well, count that as a yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah. I think I have 6.
I believe it.
I think.
All right, thank you, Joel.
No, it's not on me.
So
hey,
awesome.
Good to finally meet you in person.
Yeah. Sean,
Hi.
same 3 questions. Number 1, what was the 3D print that made you go, wow?
The first one that I got, really, I guess cosplay is kind of like why I got into 3D printing.
Yeah.
Joel made me a 3D printed Thorn from Destiny. And that's when I was like, when I got it, when he shipped it to me, I did like a little video for him or something.
It was payment for a video intro.
Yeah, a video intro, right? So when he
did
that,
that's why your intros are so good.
And when I got it, and in my hand, I was like, this is something I need to get into.
Yeah. Okay, so question number 2, you've just been ultimately funded. What are you going to do? Got to show progress, though. You can't just live on it.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, so if I could do anything,
you can give yourself a healthy paycheck.
I would basically do you know who Linus Tech Tips is from YouTube?
Yeah.
That would be what I would make, right? That I would make my own like Linus Media Group, but Shawn Media Group. So I could do tech reviews.
Film guy wants to make better film. That's of course, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I do.
That's funny because that's kind of similar to what I'd do if I had to. Okay, and number 3, got a USB cable on you?
yeah. I think I
bet you've got several.
I think I've got a few of those.
All right, good. Yeah. Shaw, dude, thank you for making Joel look good.
It's a hard job, but someone's got to do it, right? Yeah.
It's going. Here we go.
Okay.
I ran into Allie.
Hello.
So you get to hear my 3 questions. Question number 1. I'm adjusting it slightly for you, but what was the first project that you did that you were like, oh, I have got to get into this?
Alright, so when I was really little, when I was 6 years old, I wanted to build a robot for the Maker Faire because I saw somebody do it on TV. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll build a robot for the Maker Faire.
Yeah, no problem, it's easy.
Right, and then my parents were like, oh no, you're not building a robot. It's too hard for you. You're only 6 years old. Just go do something else. So when I was 5, I did that. But then the next year, I was like, I'm going to go downstairs and build my robot now. It was like the middle of winter, nowhere even near Science Fair. So they were like, okay, whatever, not really believing me. I go down to the basement, and I come back with it half done, and I'm like, okay.
Was it made out of cardboard or something?
It was made out of scrap wood from my basement, and I messed around with the power tools, and I wasn't supposed to. But anyway, I built half of it, and then I came up with it, and then they were like, okay, I guess you are building a robot now. So yeah.
And they helped you put the motors and stuff on there, or did it ever have?
It didn't have motors. It was actually mostly mechanical. It had a pulley system that allowed its hands to open and close, and recycle a piece of paper. So yeah.
That's very cool. I just came from a really cool mechanical project that I'll tell you about. But question number 2. You've just been spotted by Bill Gates. He wants to fund you. You can have unlimited money, but whatever you choose to do, you got to show results on. What are you going to work on?
I'd have to say developing some more of my innovations because I feel like I've been working on them for a long time and I have a lot of confidence in them and in their ideas.
Just open up Tech-nic-allie labs. And
yeah.
Okay, question number 3. Have you got a USB cable on you?
No.
Oh, well, there's one for no. Guys, I ran into Jimmy at the Maker Faire. So, Jimmy, 3 questions.
Sure.
Number 1, what was like the 3D print that you did and you were like, oh, this is it, I got to get into this, man?
The one I saw or the one I did?
Whatever started you on the path.
It was Barnacules when he did the slingshot.
You're the second one to say Barnacules. Joel was the other one.
There's 3 people that got me into 3D printing. It was Barnacules, he's made me want a 3D printer.
Yeah.
It was Chuck Hillybuck that made me, that gave me the reason to ask my wife for a 3D printer.
That's a tough sell.
And then it was Joel that made it fun.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 main guys that really influenced me into getting into it.
Okay, so number 2, you've been spotted by you know, whoever, Bill Gates or something. He's funded. You can do whatever you want, but you just got to show some progress on it. You can't just live on the money. What are you doing?
I honestly don't have a clue.
Okay. Get some ambition.
Take it and run.
Mexico's nice this time of year.
Yes, it is.
Question number 3, you got a USB cable on you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, of course you do. All right, that's it, man. Thank you very much.
I got like 3 of them.
Okay, hey, we ran into Calvin. Calvin makes things. No, Calvin, is that what it is? Calvin, make with Calvin.
Yes.
Yeah, make it with Calvin. Oh, do you have a maker coin?
It's in my backpack.
We're going to trade maker coins after this, but first 3 questions.
Yes.
Question number 1. What was question number 1? Man, you blew it out of my mind. Question number 1. What was the 3D print that like got you into 3D printing?
That's honestly a really hard question. It was a lot of different stuff, but being that I'm into model trains, I saw what people were doing online and said, oh, okay, that looks cool. I might as well do that. So that's really, you could say, what started me in it.
Now, have you ever done anything with model trains lately?
A lot. If you go over to the Matter Hackers booth, you'll see I've got 2 models on top of the Moai that I did on there. You can check those out if you want.
All right, awesome. So question number 2. You just got spotted by Bill Gates, and he's like, shoot, man, I love you. Everything that you do, whatever you want to do, you're funded for life. You just got to show some progress. What are you working on?
Probably making 3D printing really high detailed stuff a lot easier and cheaper for at home.
That's yeah.
Kind of like going for an object style machine that doesn't cost 50 grand.
Right, or yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah. Okay, number 3, you got a USB cable on you?
Somewhere in the backpack.
Yeah, I was gonna say dumb question. I know you got several for the GoPro. You got one on the GoPro. There you go. Got it covered.
Custom made one.
So I'm here with Dave at Shori Designs, who does amazing work putting prints onto cloth. Now I'll get some B-roll of that in a second. But 3 questions first.
Okay.
First of all, pretend like you haven't heard this question before.
Okay.
What's the 3D print that got you into this, that got you thinking, oh my goodness, I got to do this thing?
When I was able to make a print that locking in with a real object that already existed, like a screw or a nut, so that it was able to
just drop it in while it was printing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've done that before. You just kind of have to sit over the print and be like, it's like Indiana Jones, you know? Boom, boom. Okay, we got it. Yeah. And so you've been spotted by Bill Gates, and he's like, I love what you do. Whatever you want to do, it's funded. Just, you got to show progress. What do you want to work on?
I want to work on creating a pick-and-place machine that works on top of a 3D printer so that I can drop in objects at the time of printing without having to man the printer by hand.
And you know, I could see the application in like electronics, and if you do it with dual and you get your fill, we could finally have 3D printed circuits that just come into place. That would be so cool. I would want a robot arm on the side that could actually pull the print off and then start the next print, but then assemble it on the side as it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
You got a USB cable on you?
Somewhere.
Somewhere within reach.
Within
we'll
reach.
count that as a yes.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, we are here with Alex and Andre from Moment 3D, and 3 questions, guys. Question number 1.
Yes.
What was like the 3D print that got you into this, that got you saying, oh, I have to do this? Alex, you first.
Okay, well, about 5 years ago, I was working on a prototype of a character from a video game you might heard of called Street Fighter.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's Chun-Li head sculpt we have to work on for a toy company. I was a sculptor that was in charge to sculpt the head. And after we sculpted it, I worked on it for about 3 months of time. We finally printed it on a wax printer.
Okay.
I still remember to this day the feeling that I get when it
I made this, but the machine made this.
I can see this from every angle. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's when it sparked, right? That's when it ignited the passion for this technology.
Yeah.
So as a designer, I have to get in on it.
Yeah, yeah. Andre?
Honestly, what got me into 3D printing was when I came to a job at Moment 3D. I've always been a designer. I went to school for it, but we always did little prototypes, but then until I got the job and started model making, and then just seeing all the models come out in the printer, then that's when it took off. So just seeing something go from 2D that I modeled and then physically being printed out of resin, plastic.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Man, we're getting a heck of a distraction over here. That is
I know,
amazing.
right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
how about you? I'm curious about yours.
Okay,
Joe?
I'll tell you afterwards. Okay, so question number 2.
Yes.
Steve Jobs, the Steve Jobs I keep on saying Steve Jobs today. It's messing me up. Bill Gates sees what you're doing and he's like, okay, I love you guys. Whatever you want to do, 100% funding.
Okay.
You just got to show some progress. You can't just live off of it. What are you going to do?
Ooh, good question. Good questions. So, my ultimate vision for the company Moment 3D is imagine Apple retail store. You go in, Apple retail store mixed with museums. So you go in, half the place is workshop with a glass wall.
Okay.
So you can see the designer, the fabricator working behind the glass wall. You can't interact with them, but of course.
Do not disturb the designer while he is working.
Exactly.
Do not knock on the glass.
And of course, the pollution, all that stuff, right? And on the right-hand side, you have all the printer that's available where you can purchase the material, host classes, and of course, buying the product that we've made.
And have this thing like right on the Vegas Strip so that you get tons of traffic.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
What's your thought, Andre? Ultimate funding.
Ultimate funding.
But you got to do something.
Go wild.
I would, I don't know, that's hard. I would create definitely a maker space, like Alex said, some sort of place to bring a bunch of creative thinkers to one spot to collab on projects, make projects, and somehow I would incorporate my passion for shoes in that. Don't know where it'd be, but I would throw shoes in there somewhere.
Yeah, 3D printed shoes are a thing, man.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, question number 3.
Yes.
You guys got a USB cable on you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, two for yes. All right, thank you guys. Hey everybody, you may not know who this is, and actually, shamefully, I didn't know who this is, but Todd here is the guy who does the We the Builders project, and he's kind of the brain behind it, right?
Yeah, I pitched it at a hackathon at the Walters Art Museum in Baltimore around 2014. Told my friends, hey, let's build this website. We did in 3 weeks at George Washington.
I remember that one.
So 110 parts in 3 weeks, and we brought it up to New York for the 3D print show.
And now it's being crowdfunded. And how many parts is the We Can Do It Rosie?
The Rosie the Riveter. This is the second one we're making. This is a much larger one. It's 2,625 like blocks.
And so many people are pitching in on this one.
Yeah,
so
if you go to the site at wethebuilders.com, like the page is like so long. I think there might be 1,000 people. I don't know. It's just like keeps going. You get a little icon that pulls it from your Google profile when you log in, so it has your little picture there. And then
and I feel bad that I didn't jump in on this one, but I'll try and jump in on the next one.
Yeah,
but I got 3 questions for you.
All right, let's do it.
Question number 1: what was the print that made you go, oh my goodness, I got to get into this thing?
I first saw 3D printing in 2000 in a high school field trip, and they took us to Northrop Grumman, a defense contractor in Baltimore, and I saw the Rook. It's like this classic SLA print. So I saw it, and I had been 3D modeling for like 3 years now. I started in middle school, and I knew about 3D modeling, and I saw this, and no one said the word 3D printing back then. It was all stereolithography.
And rapid prototyping. Yeah.
So he was telling us that. So I was in this like complex, and they were showing us all this amazing stuff. But me and my buddy Ryan, we saw this thing. We saw the vat. We saw it printing. The staircase with the steps on the inside.
It's like the T2 just pulling it right out of there. It's slow, but
so they had it up on demo mode, showing us that, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. I got to try it in college in like 2004 or 5. At University of Maryland.
So that just kind of planted the seed for you, and it germinated for a little while.
And I got into the maker business when I went to an armor party for building Star Wars Stormtrooper costumes, and I was at my buddy's garage, and he had this like picture of this radio, and there was a knob, and he was like talking about the knob, and the radio is some like long lost part, and they didn't know what it was, but I was like, I can make it, and I made it, and I printed one. Used a service like Shapeways at the time from a different company.
I remember but I know the service that you're talking about. I remember this. So there were several of them.
It was one that got bought by 3D Systems.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I printed a resin thing, and he made a silicone mold and cast copies, and then we made the whole radio, the whole faceplate for the Sand Troopers. And he was selling them and giving me like money every time he sold them. So I did it for his friend, and then I started making them. I did the Inception tops and Green Lantern rings, and I ended up just leaving my job to make like props and prototypes for people.
Not a bad gig.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 2. So, you know, we're walking around here. Bill Gates happens to walk up and he says, I love what you're doing, man. 100% funded, whatever you want to do. What do you start working on?
I kind of do that now. Like I really enjoy.
You're kind of there.
I really enjoy the research behind the movie props. So I've got this ring here. That's the Rose Tico ring.
Yeah, we were just looking at that over here, and I thought, okay, so small suggestion. Small suggestion. Put the Decepticon symbol on the inside just to throw people off.
So I did a funny thing on Reddit.
Yeah.
There's a symbol on Reddit that people like to surprise other people with.
Yes, so I know the one.
So I put that one in
8 letters.
Yeah. I put that one in there, and I posted it in the Star Wars subreddit in January.
Question number 3. Got a USB cable on you?
Somewhere.
Okay, there we go.
Is that the question?
That's the question.
And a big shout out to all the people who spotted me at Bay Area Maker Faire and walked away with either one of my Maker coins or one of my low poly dinos for my upcoming Kickstarter, which you can sign up for the mailing list for in the description.